Yo, 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 welcome back to another video. It's your boy Quarter Man. We back in here. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Oh, oh, oh. Alright, let me just load this up. Not bad. I thought we'd do more, but I'm okay with it. The last video got 4 views. I'm okay with it. I'm sure it'll build up over time. Okay, so here we go. We got the worst season of Power Rangers. We got this video right here. I know y'all can see it. Let me get right into it. Here we go. Put this in full screen.
Power Rangers is a show that is loved by millions all around the world.
I like that
We
Mr.
go in for
Force. That was
almost
a good
30 years
series.
at this point, which
Dino
says that the
Thunder.
premise is somewhat of a winner. The formula has
Let me
always
see
been
what
simple.
else.
Take cool characters
In
and
Space
footage
was
from a
cool.
Japanese show,
Mighty
find some
Morphin
original
Power Rangers.
footage, and
I
dub
feel like
over
I've seen
massive
that show
sequences so that the
a
stories
bunch
make
of
sense.
times, but I
Of
don't
course, there's a lot
remember
more
it
to it than just
because it
that,
was
but
a
at
long
its
show.
most simple, that's how the show works. For the most part, it's worked great. But for some
I didn't
seasons,
see
one in
the whole
particular,
season
it
of
has
any of
flopped
the Megaforce
horribly. In
seasons.
today's video, we will be talking about the
I've seen
seasons that
every
have not
episode of
worked so
Dino
well,
Fury.
and I'll be giving my thoughts on what I think is
Every
the worst season of
episode.
Power Rangers of all time. Let's get into it.
Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury. I gotta say, Cosmic Fury kind of let me
Now,
down.
like I
I
said,
thought it
there
was gonna be
can be a
better. I
few
couldn't stand
contenders
him,
for
but
the
yeah.
worst season of
Actually,
Power
all the
Rangers.
females in the show were
Let's
kind
start
of
with
weak.
one of the least popular
Outside of, I
shows in the
think,
franchise's
her
history,
name was
Power Rangers
Fern,
Operation
the
Overdrive.
Orange Ranger.
The
She was
15th
actually kind of
season
cool.
has one of the weakest main teams ever. And
I
when
hated
your
the way they
entire
treated
season
her,
is
but
based around
she
a
was kind of
core
cool.
group of 5 or 6 unpopular characters, there's not really a lot of hope for the story. Apparently, the premise
They
of the
told me
show
the
was to
series was
make
gonna
it the
be
Indiana Jones of
the
Power
Cosmic
Rangers,
Fury season. They said
taking
it was
on
gonna
new
be
exotic
straight through,
locations with every
and it was
episode
gonna be
and
like no
story.
funny stuff or
Disney, the owners at the time,
shenanigans or stuff
supposedly
like that
loved
that
this
they
idea.
usually
However,
do
they
for
gave the
filler,
production team a very small
but they
budget
did.
and asked them to use as much stock footage as possible from the source Super Sentai series, Go-Go Sentai Bukanga. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation of that. I more than likely did. My Japanese is not very good, and I don't actually watch the Sentai series. I'm purely a Power Rangers fan. Anyway, when you have new set limitations based around extended use of existing footage, creating a strong story becomes much, much harder, and it shows. Operation Overdrive, despite having a couple of good episodes and moments, such as the episodes Once a Ranger, one of my favorite Power Ranger
I love
episodes
that.
ever,
I've seen
it was
that
still
like
not
2 or
a
3
good
times.
series.
I might go
Not to
see it
mention,
again
the
soon.
theme was awful.
It's kind of weird
Starting
how
each
Adam got
episode
his
with a
morphle,
theme
but
that
we'll
sucks
gloss over that.
instantly makes me like the show a little less. I just can't help it. Now let's talk about another of the more obvious, most hated Power Rangers shows, Power Rangers Turbo. Now where to even
I
start
did
with this
not
one?
watch this.
Well, let's start at the beginning. The production team didn't really help themselves with this one. In case you weren't aware, the source footage for Turbo was actually taken
I
from a
think I
Sentai
might have
parody
watched
show,
this.
which obviously means that
I think I
majority of
watched
the
the
footage,
part,
well, is just a bit
the
silly,
parts
at
all the way
least
up
more than
until
usual. It also
Tommy
introduced
switched his
Justin, a
powers.
character that was largely despised
When
by
TJ
fans.
got the powers, I
Show
think
creators
I
thought
tuned
that a
out
child
before
audience would love a
or after
character they
that
could
part.
relate to, but that was a mistake. The success of Power Rangers came from having lead characters that the child audience could look up to. They were their heroes. No kid wants to have a 10-year-old hero. It's just not the same.
Right.
They also replaced Zordon with Demetria, which was always going to disappoint. And series villain Divatox was just kind of annoying. To make matters worse,
All she did
the
was
season
plant
just
bombs
full
that
of
the
stupid
Power Rangers
plots.
found
For
every
example, the
time.
entire Ranger team being turned
I
into
think
a
that was
giant pizza.
the thing for
Now,
that
while all of this
Turbo,
sounds
or was
absolutely
it
awful,
the
in my
thing for
opinion, the
Zeo?
main issue for Turbo was
I
the
can't
fact that it
remember.
was coming off
I
of
think it was
Zeo,
just
a
Turbo.
very popular show
Yeah,
that
it was
fans
probably just
really
Turbo.
enjoyed. Then suddenly the Rangers were given these new powers and silly cars with next to no explanation. At least we still have a load of the Mighty Morphin Rangers on the team, right? That should make the show more watchable. Wrong. The team was switched out halfway through the season to make way for a completely new team. It's
Yeah,
like they were
that was
trying
kind
their
of weird.
hardest to ruin the show themselves. Anyway, with all this being said, the show did still have some positives. The Phantom Ranger, without a doubt, being the main one. Also, the Blue Centurion. Both pretty cool and mysterious characters that have kept fans curious for decades since. Boom Studios even recently used the origin story of the Phantom Ranger to sell a new story of comics, and to be honest, it was pretty cool. Oh, and the theme tune was pretty decent. Gets me pumped every time I hear it and kind of makes me want to drive really fast, which I definitely don't do. So, with all this being said, Turbo still isn't my least favourite season of Power Rangers ever. That honour belongs to the Megaforce and Super Megaforce seasons.
What about the Super Megaforce battle?
The series going back to what works best. A leader/mentor type character that is
clearly Robo Knight.
Zordon.
I forgot about him.
Connection to him.
Robo
then linking back previous successful seasons by actually having the team have the ability to use their powers. Even that couldn't save the show. Because although it seems like a cool idea at first, it genuinely just comes across as an attempt to latch onto previous, more interesting ideas, instead of trying to make this one original and, well, just better. It says something when this season had the episode and the moment that we as Power Ranger fans have always wanted. A battle that features every Ranger team ever, all showing up in one epic battle. The problem was, even this wasn't great. Don't get me wrong, it had its moments, and was still super cool to see, and I loved seeing Tommy Oliver, in green, lead the Ranger Army. But at the end of the day, it boiled down to a scene filled with cameos from a couple of decent Rangers, but realistically, it seemed like it was a super random selection of actors that were probably just the only ones available at the time. Tommy, TJ, Carone, and a few others, but realistically, let's be honest, we all wanted to see the return of other Mighty Morphin legends. How great would it have been to have seen Kimberly return, or Zach, or Billy? Something unexpected like that would have gone a long way. I know, I'm sure they tried their hardest to get these people involved, and I'm sure they did the best.
Don't forget Jason,
but I just wasn't as
from the show, not Jason David Frank, because he was there.
I hope so, I guess. But it wasn't this bad.
I mean, Austin St. John, that's his name.
It was probably
I don't know his name.
The biggest issue with this show is, without a doubt, the combination of poor writing and acting. The plots were unoriginal and boring, and the lack of emotion from the main cast.
Why they look nothing like they did on the show?
And yes, I am aware that this is a show aimed at kids. But
especially the Black Ranger, the Red Ranger,
the same kids show.
And the Blue Ranger sort of look like himself, but like without makeup.
Sort of weird the way they handle the source material. I mean, the show has a pirate aesthetic, but it doesn't really have much to do with anything. It's just kind of there.
I watched that
a show that was intended to be a throwback and a
tribute to the good old days of which is based off Megaforce,
Power Ranger show,
but it was leagues above because they had a lot.
The worst season of Power Rangers ever.
Of
course, everything in this video is strictly
pirate
my
ship,
opinion,
which they could fly in the air,
strongly disagree,
and some other stuff.
That is absolutely fine. Just let me know in the comments down below what you think is the worst season of Power Rangers ever. Is it one of the ones that I've discussed today? If not, I'd be interested to hear what others think.
What's going on?
Thank you all so much for
taking
the time to watch this video.
I didn't watch it. Jungle Fury, because I didn't watch it. Turbo, I didn't watch it.
So thank you all so much for the continued support. The main goal of 100,000
probably Ninja Steel
feels like it's actually in sight. And looking at the channel,
because I watched it and I didn't like it too much.
20% of the viewers here have actually hit that subscribe button. So if the other 80,
well, I think I looked at mine. It said 50% of people were subscribed and 49% weren't. So y'all doing good. Y'all doing good, bro. I love that. Oh, hey, if you say 0% subscribe and 99% subscribe, I'm like, bro, you gotta be good. You gotta be good. But thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next one.